It is done. I've gone through so many different versions of this wallet. I'm finally done with this thing. I think this is the best version of my wallet I could ever possibly make using 3D printing alone. So those of you who haven't seen this before, this is my 3D printed wallet. It holds 6 cards max, 1 for quick access in the back, and then 5 on the inside. Has a little arm at the bottom, makes the cards come out in a nice little step pattern, makes it really easy and convenient to get to whatever cards that you need as quickly as possible. Pretty much every single one of my previous designs, the hardest part was figuring out how to make it so that these cards lock in place. And no matter what design I ended up using, because I was using rigid plastic, it was pretty much always just wearing down over time and then just not working. But this is a new solution that completely solves that issue. It is never gonna wear out over time unless you use it for like maybe years. Then it will wear out. Other ones were doing it in about a month. Before I get into the lock, the other change I made to this design was now the lever has a little arm that sticks up a little bit. Let's see if you can see it. So now the arm kind of sticks up a little bit, and this just makes it so it's a lot easier for someone to understand that after this is open, you have to just pull down on this, and that's what makes the cards out. Before it was a little bit confusing and people didn't quite get it, but now that made it so it's a lot easier to understand, a lot easier to pull down, and you could still just open it up and then push down with the palm of your hand, which I can't really show on camera. Let's try this. Push down with the palm of your hand, and then that makes the cards come out as well. And now you've noticed this is how the new locking mechanism works. There's now a cap that goes over the top that is hinged that locks the cards in place. And how does this lock in place? There's no locking mechanism on the side here or anything showing here, and it's not from the hinge. So the way this works is, actually, if you could hear this, I don't know if you'll be able to, when I close this, it's actually putting some amount of friction against the side of the cards here, and that's locking it in place because it's having pressure against the side of the card, and that prevents it from the cards ever being able to come out on their own. You could close this, shake it upside down as much as you possibly want, and those cards are never coming out because it is just locking itself in place using those cards on the inside. So this was pretty much the best design I could possibly come up with that still only uses 3D printing, and this is all just printed in PLA. So that was the main change to this, the main solution that I think is the best that I could possibly do. So while this model took months for me to be able to get to be something I was happy with, actually creating this model would take me less than 15 minutes to do. So we're going to hop into Fusion 360 and I'm going to show you the CAD file and how I actually made this wallet. Okay, so now we are into Fusion 360 and I'm just going to be going through the design history of everything that I did to be able to make this part. So making this, I basically made the interior space and then made a shell around that. Started to model the lever around a pivot point, modeled that pivot point, threw on my logo, the spot to hold the extra card on the side, and then added a cap to the top of it, made a slice through the side of the model, made extrusion for the pivot point on the side, mirrored it, and then created the thing right in here in the middle. So in a separate video, I will be making a step-by-step tutorial of how to create that model in Autodesk Fusion 360. It's going to be geared towards beginners, and I'm not going to be doing as much as all the fancy stuff that I actually did in my final model, but it's going to be a really good idea of the capabilities of the software and what you really can do with it. Thanks for watching, guys. Really hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making this design. If you have any ideas for future things that I should be making, leave it in the comments below. How much fun is that?